How about now? Oh, hello! Hello, Port Moody! Hello, New Democrats! Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name's Sussanne Skidmore. I'm the president of the BC Federation of Labor, and it is so powerful to be in a room like this full of people like you who care about each other and care about our communities and who are working to make life better. We're gathered today on the traditional lands of the Coast Salish nations, and we're grateful for their stewardship and protection, past and present, of the land, water, and air that we all rely on. And we acknowledge and appreciate their generosity and of spirit in sharing their knowledge and teachings with Port Moody residents and their visitors. You're going to hear from a lot of people tonight who are fighting really hard to make sure that Canada stays Canada, and it is what makes us great. Yeah. You're going to hear from people who are fighting for our public health care. People who are fighting for homes that you can afford. And our first speaker is one of those very people. She is someone who has been a loud voice for equality and a champion for people with disabilities and seniors, fighting to ensure they aren't left behind. She is your NDP candidate in this beautiful riding. Welcome, Bonita Zarrillo! Yay!
So much, thank you. Woo! Woo! Thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much, Sussanne. What a beautiful crowd. One more cheer. Woo! Beautiful crowd. Thank you all so much, each and every one of you, for being here today, and welcome to beautiful Port Moody. I am so honored to be your NDP candidate here and to have represented this riding in the last parliament. One of the most productive parliaments in history. The communities, go dental care, pharmacare, and the $10 daycare. The communities here in Port Moody, Coquitlam, are like many others across the country. Folks are worried about Donald Trump, boo, and the cost of his trade war. And they're really worried about the cost of rents continuing to go up. They're worried their kids won't be able to afford to buy a home in their community they love. And many people here can't get a family doctor or afford their medicine. And I just want to share a quick story here. I was at an event just this week of seniors, and one of the seniors had to leave early. They weren't feeling well, and it was because they hadn't taken their medication properly, because the family couldn't afford the medication. So I just want folks to know how important it is that each of you voted NDP and we got pharmacare. It really makes a huge difference in people's lives. But the other thing that people have here is hope. I want you to know that we have a lot of hope. Hope that life can get better when there are people in Ottawa fighting for them. That's why I'm running again to represent this riding, and that's why it's so important to send New Democrats to Ottawa. Because we fight for the things that working and middle-class families care about. And so, I am so pleased to introduce our next speaker as we go into our celebration tonight, really, a celebration. A man who knows all about fighting for community. Please join me in welcoming Chief Ed Hall, whose maternal homeland is Kwikwetlem First Nation. Come on up.
Thank you for that, Bonita. I chwydent I sapoio siem schapel med hall tunnasqui talisanak Kwikwetlem tomoch. Osiem to siest I tenaltani machnitinami sap quilum I tunnash Kwikwetlem tomoch I shared by many. Good day, how are you all? I just gave myself an ancestral introduction. Ed Hall is my English given name. Schapelum is my ancestral name. It is from here, from the Lower Fraser Valley, and Coquitlam is of Stalo Nation language dialects. And I also give you a traditional welcome to the ancestral unceded lands of the Coquitlam, and shared by many on our friends, relatives, and visitors, welcome. So why am I here? Because nothing rhymes with orange. Thank you. And because Bonita invited me here. And so did the party. So I want to acknowledge that very good work that Bonita does. And I want to acknowledge the federal leader, NDP, Jagmeet. I haven't seen him here yet, but I know he's around soon. And anyway, I want to acknowledge Grand Chief Stewart Phillip, Joan Phillip. I want to acknowledge Rick Lumac. I want to acknowledge, I spoke with you earlier, and candidate for Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam. We have Laura DuPont, and there you are. And Jenny Kwan, I haven't met you yet. I hope to meet you tonight. Great. So anyways, I do want to say thank you to the party and to everyone that I'll get a chance to speak with, for your time and everything. And I want to thank you all for letting me be here to share a few words with you in English and Hunkaminam. Hey, Sepka, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ed, for that warm welcome. It means a lot, and thank you for all the work I know that you do in your community and on behalf of your community. It's an honor to have you here. It's now my great pleasure to introduce someone who you probably all know very well. She has been a long-time leader in our party and an outspoken advocate for human rights, housing, peace, and social justice. The former MP for Vancouver East, please welcome to the stage my friend, Libby Davies.
Well, thank you so much, Sussanne. First of all, let's give a big hand to Sussanne, our MC. She is a very fine New Democrat. She's always out there campaigning. I see her all over the place, and also she represents the labor movement. So Sussanne, thank you for what you're doing. Well, I'll have to tell you, this is just a beautiful, awesome turnout tonight to welcome our leader back to BC. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. And I just want to start, well, with a little bit of history. Who remembers 1993? All right, 1993. What happened? We lost party status. I got elected in 1997. And in that 4 years, some really bad stuff happened in Ottawa. There was some real shit that went down, I'll tell you. The Liberal government went to the right. They got influenced by the Reform Party, the Conservatives, and we lost so many programs. They gutted our national housing program. Shame. It's taken us decades, and we're still not there, to win back those successful social housing and national housing programs. They took money out of the Canada Health and Social Transfer. They balanced the budgets on the backs of poor people. And you know why they did that? Because we weren't there. We were not there to fight back. We were there, but we didn't have party status. And so this is a really important thing that we have to remind people as we're out there voting in this last week. I want to tell you that, I've been out in the doorsteps too, Main Streeting with my candidate, Avi Lewis in Vancouver Centre. Go, Avi, go. And I want to tell you that, you have to almost go one-on-one with people and explain this weird strategic voting thing. And if I hear one more time, I have to vote Liberal. I have to vote Liberal because I'm so afraid. And we say to people, it's the NDP that's stopping the Conservatives in British Columbia. It's the NDP who are fighting for you. And while we're telling little stories, NDP, you got it. You got it. You got it. And I want to tell you just a tiny little story. I met this elderly couple. One of them was in a wheelchair. And I went up to them in the local park, and they said, we voted already. And they said, we really wanted to vote for Avi. And I said, oh, but you were afraid of, and they went, yeah, We were afraid of the Conservatives, so we voted. I won't even say, you know who they voted for. And when we talked about it, I thought the woman was going to cry because she realized they'd made a terrible mistake. They should have voted for what they believed in. So I said, it's okay, you voted, but now you got to go and tell all of your friends that they should vote NDP. They should vote for what they believe in. And she said, okay, I'll do that. So this is what we have to do, folks. You know, we're used to being the underdog. I'll tell you, every single one of these amazing candidates back here, they are working their butts off. Their teams are working their butts off. You are working your butt off, I know. But this last week is where I think we have to get out and talk to the wobblies. Now, who are the wobblies? I don't mean those radical old guys from the turn of the century in the IWW. I don't mean them. I mean the good people who are wobbling in the last few days because they know what's right. They know what they believe in, but they're afraid. And so we have to go talk to them one by one. And I want to tell you, I'm so proud of our leader, Jagmeet Singh, watching him in those debates. I want to say to you, Jagmeet, go right ahead. I want to say to you, go right ahead and interrupt. You know, you're interrupting for us, right? You're interrupting the mainstream, the picture, the mainstream politics and all that stuff. You're interrupting for us, so go right ahead and do that. You got my permission. NDP. So in these last few days, our leader is speaking for us on the national stage. He's crisscrossing across the country. I know he's working so hard with the team. We're the folks on the ground. We have a really special job to do in these last few days. It's to go out and find those wobblies in each riding and talk to them about what they believe in. And I hear Jack Layton in my head every day. I hear Jack Layton. Don't tell them that it can't be done. Don't let them tell us it cannot be done, right? We have to remember that. So I want to say to every candidate, we're so proud of you and what you're doing. We need to send you to Ottawa. We don't want you here right now. We want you in Ottawa fighting for us because we know that when you're there, we get good things. And when you're not there, we lose stuff. We really do. And so that's the message that we've got to get across to every single voter in our community. And then I am truly confident that we will do really well and we will have a strong, strong contingent in Ottawa to hold the government to account, to speak out for the Canadian people, to defend workers' rights, to get the health care we need, and to push further and further and to stop the right wing. This is our job. This is our job. So stay strong, you wonderful candidates. We're right behind you, 100%, and we know you're going to do it. Go for it. Thank you.
All right. How about another round for Libby? Thank you so much, Libby. It's an honor to get to introduce you and always to get to be with you. Those of you who know Libby know that she was a queer rights activist for a long time. And as a young queer woman, I looked up to Libby for so many years. And so we're so grateful to hear from you tonight. Your record of standing up for people is one that we all look to and learn from. And next up, I have the honor of introducing two of my very favorite people, longtime advocates for people here in British Columbia and across the country. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Grand Chief Stewart Phillip from the Union of BC Indian Chiefs and Vancouver Strathcona member of the legislature, Joan Phillip. Come on up.
Okay, I'll save the best for last. I'm just so proud to be here. Isquis that's my traditional name. It comes from Tsleil-Waututh. And I just want to thank my Coast Salish relatives for the opportunity to be here. I'm just honored to be among friends. I can tell you, I just can't believe that in Canada, for over 140 years, we've always voted for worse and worser. I think, and the only thing that's happened is the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And even January 1st rolls around, I'm watching the news and the rich got richer. Oh, what a surprise. So I can tell you, I'm just so happy and proud of our new Democratic team in Ottawa, Bonita and Jenny Kwan, and particularly Jagmeet Singh. This feels like deja vu. I was traveling with them the last time he got elected. And because without them, we wouldn't have farmer care, we won't have better affordable housing. And I remember when Paul Martin cut health transfer payments in half to the provinces from 6% to 3%. And I remember when they cut welfare, and Van der Zalm was our premier. And there was that little cartoon of him pulling the wings off flies. And he cut everybody else, all the single people, off welfare. And now we still see them in the downtown east side. And that kind of homelessness and poverty has been normalized. And it's a shame. We need orange in that house. I'm the parliamentary secretary for community development and nonprofits, and I can tell you it's a struggle, and without help from Canada, we're losing people in the cracks. And that's not fair. And it's not acceptable. We have to change that. And this whole business, like Libby was talking about, I don't want to split the vote, and I'm so afraid. Well, they should be afraid of both of them. Like, what is wrong with us? So I want to hold my hands up to all of Bonita, Jenny, and those that are fighting for us in Ottawa, and we need more of you. So thank you. Haitchkatsiyam.
Why Pisnaksil Isquis Asiut. That's my traditional name. I want to begin by saying how glad and happy I am to be here tonight with such an amazing group of people. When you look around this room and look closely at everyone that's here, it's really a picture of Canada. That's what we have here in this room. And Joan and I have and that's why I love the NDP. It's family. We're family. We've always been family. We always will be family. And that's what attracts so many of us to support a party that has the important values that were once important to this country. I am 75, and I was blessed that I grew up in this country in a time when those values were evident. They were part of everyday life. We were taught those social values in school. Life had an amazing spirit of respect, friendship, helping each other. It was, we didn't have the racialized hatred that we have in society today. Somewhere along the line we went off the rails, and it keeps continuing to get worse and worse and worse. And we know where that comes from. It comes from greed. It comes from, quite frankly, capitalism, and the whole notion of it's all about me, and the furthest thing away from family. And somehow everyone in this room and all the people that we represent, we absolutely have to do something about that. We've got to bring back what once was everyday life that was taken for granted. And Joan and I are grandparents, great-grandparents actually, and we have 2 great-grandchildren, and I tell you that is really, really something when you have great-great-grandchildren. And that's why we support the NDP, because there isn't a day that goes by that Joan and I don't get up and think, what does the future hold for our great-grandchildren, for our grandchildren, for our children in today's world? And what is our responsibility to change the trajectory that we're on at the moment? And we all know what the answer is. In our world here at Jagmeet, I absolutely have the greatest respect for Jagmeet. He's definitely epitomizes what I'm speaking about in terms of family and human decency. I love to hear him speak. Unfortunately, too many Canadians don't listen. They listen to all that, quite frankly, all those lies that the Polyev and Carney are, taken across the country. It's hard to listen to that, knowing that it's all BS. All these grandiose promises they're making, and totally destroying everything that we depend on for services, for healthcare, for education. I can't believe that people are that bloody stupid that, that would even think that that's somehow logical. But at any rate, if Canadians were to be able to recover those values that I was speaking about, there's absolutely no doubt that Jagmeet would be our next Prime Minister. No doubt. And I just want to finish off on with Jack Layton. There was a gathering in Penticton. Joan and I are from Penticton, and we went to the gathering. It was a a memorial for Jack. And I don't even think I made it through greeting everyone there. I started crying. I was so, I was so emotionally shattered that he wasn't here anymore, considering everything that he represented. He was such an amazing human being. And because of that, everything he said had a certain magic to it. Somebody mentioned hope. Hope is absolutely what we need. We need to leave our children with a legacy of hope, that things can be better, things can change, and we can make this a better world. That's why the Creator put us here, to make a better world, to look after the land, to look after the water, to look after each other. And we need to get back to that story. We need to get back to that narrative. And Joan and I are great-grandparents, and we have a shelf life. As long as we're here, we're going to be doing this work. We're going to be part of the NDP party because it is who we are. And, we're going to make this happen. So I'm just really, really proud to be here. Thank you.
Maybe I will have the last say. I come from Tsleil-Waututh. My father was born there. My grandpa, Chief Dan George, was there. And he always would say, when people came here, we welcomed everyone. We didn't ask where you were from or what you believe in or don't believe in. So I just want to say to everyone, we're all here to stay. And what my grandpa would say was that, like the thunderbird of old, we shall rise out of the sea. We'll pick up the tools of white man's success and become one of the strongest segments of society. Well, I can tell you, we're all in this pool together. So thank you. Hi, Katsiyam.
Thank you, Grand Chief and Joan. Your words humble us and inspire us to continue working to protect the things that we all care about. Friends, this is my last introduction to make this evening. So thank you for letting me guide you through this amazing night. There are only a few days left in this election, and I know that I'll be out there letting people know how hard New Democrats work and how much you can count on us to fight for working and middle-class families right across this country. And I know that you all will too. We're going to get our NDP feet out there, aren't we? I'm so pleased to call up on the stage someone who is incredibly important to our party and to our leader. She is someone who cares deeply about families who are struggling and someone who has always used her platform to bring attention to issues that need it, like standing with Indigenous communities where people are hurting. She is a successful businesswoman and a mom of two beautiful little girls. Please welcome to the stage Gurkiran Kaur.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gurkiran Kaur, and I'm so proud to be Jagmeet Singh's wife. His partner in life, in love, in parenthood, and this joyful fight for a better life for all of us. I know I'm here to introduce him, but all of you have met him will know. He'd be the first to say this campaign is not about him. It's about all of you. It's about what we can build if we stand together. It's about the moms who should not have to work overtime to cover the grocery bills. It's about families who deserve chance to own a home of their own. It's about the working people who deserve to know that if they lose their job, they won't lose everything. It's about every one of us who deserves health care, regardless of our bank balance. This campaign is about all of us. About fighting for the Canada we deserve. We're lucky to have Jagmeet leading that fight. As a lawyer, as a community advocate, as an Ontario MPP, and as a leader of Canada's New Democrats, I know him as a guy who stands up to bullies. Face to face with Galen Weston, big oil executives, big pharma, Jagmeet called them all out. He prosecuted their greed. He demanded better. Because he doesn't work for them, he works for the rest of us. And that's why he used his power to deliver for us. Child care, dental care, the first steps in real universal pharmacare. So tonight, I'm not just introducing my husband, I'm celebrating a movement for fairness, for hope, and for people. If you've ever felt like Ottawa ignores you, know this, Jagmeet sees you. If you've ever felt like the powerful doesn't hear you, Jagmeet is your voice. If you believe it's time for everybody and working families to get ahead, then we are in this together with the leader of Canada's NDP, Jagmeet Singh!
How y'all doing? NDP, 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 NDP. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, yes. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you for all that energy. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Thank you, Sussanne, for the incredible welcome and for everything you do as my dear friend and as a fierce fighter for working people. Thank you for everything you do, Sussanne. Give it up, Sussanne Skidmore. Fighting every day for working class people. To Bonita Zarrillo. Thank you for welcoming us to Port Moody, Coquitlam, where you're going to be the next member of parliament again. You are a relentless champion for this community. I'm so proud to call you my friend. I'm so proud that you're on our team fighting so hard for people. Thank you, Bonita. To Chief Ed Hall, thank you for that powerful welcome to the territory of the Kwikwetlem First Nations. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you. We are humbled to gather here and we recommit to reconciliation, not just in words, but in action. To Libby Davies, the legend. My friend, thank you for paving the way. Your courage and clarity run deep in our movement. We are standing on your shoulders tonight. Thank you, Libby. To Grand Chief Stewart Phillip and Joan Phillip, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your moral leadership. Your voice reminds us what justice looks like in action. Thank you. And to my love, Gurkiran, thank you for standing beside me and reminding me every day who we fight for. Thank you, Gurkiran. And to every BC NDP MLA and every NDP candidate and all the volunteers in this room, thank you. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for standing strong. For not letting this moment pass us by. You know, people say this is the most consequential election in a generation. And they're right. Because Trump is attacking Canadian jobs. He's coming for our land, our water, our health care. He's trying to hike up drug prices, all for the benefit of billionaires. And when the stakes are this high, we can't hand over the reins. We can't give up our seat at the table. We can't let lobbyists and CEOs call the shots while working people get pushed out. We need New Democrats now more than ever. NDP, 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 NDP. Because, that was super cute. Love that. Because when we're not there to hold them to it, the Liberals stop listening. They stop hearing what life's really like, what it costs to keep the lights on, what it feels like to choose between groceries and medicine. They stop hearing people like the mom I met in Burnaby. Let me tell you about her. A single mom, working 2 jobs, doing everything she can for her son. Her boy has asthma. And on some weeks, at the drugstore, she has to choose between filling his prescription and paying the rent. She knows the risks, and still, she's forced to make that call. I can still remember the agony in her voice, the guilt twisting in the pit of her stomach like a knot. But that guilt doesn't belong to her. She's doing everything right. It's people in power who are letting her down. This didn't happen by accident. It's the result of choices. Choices that wrongly protect profits and abandon people. Pendant le week-end de Pâques, les familles de tout le pays ont ressenti les effets de la crise. Les prix à l'épicerie viennent de connaître la plus forte hausse en 50 ans. Les prix des produits alimentaires ont augmenté de plus de 3% en un seul mois. Et dans tout le pays, les familles ont été contraintes de réduire leurs dépenses de base juste pour pouvoir s'offrir un repas de famille cette fin de semaine. Pendant ce temps, Galen Weston et les PDG de Loblaws ont augmenté leur prix et se sont remplis les poches. Et ils ne serrent pas la ceinture, ils en profitent. Et Mark Carney, les libéraux, ils restent les bras croisés pendant que les PDG s'enrichissent. Aucune mesure contre la spéculation, aucune aide pour les familles qui ont du mal à joindre les deux bouts. Au lieu de cela, 28 milliards de dollars en coupures dans les services et des cadeaux fiscaux pour ceux qui gagnent plus de 1,4 million de dollars par an. Mark Carney dit que nous n'avons pas les moyens d'investir dans vous, mais nous connaissons la vérité. L'argent est là. Il va simplement aux mauvaises personnes. We're seeing the cost of those choices all around us. Over the Easter weekend, families across Canada felt the squeeze. Food prices just saw their biggest jump in 50 years. Groceries went up by more than 3% in a single month. And across the country, families were forced to cut back on basics just to afford a holiday meal. While at the same time, Galen Weston and the CEOs at Loblaws jacked up the prices and stuffed their pockets. They're not tightening their belts. They're cashing in. And Mark Carney, the Liberals, they're standing by while CEOs get richer. No crackdowns on profiteering, no help for families at the till. Instead, what he's promising in his bill, in his budget, in his electoral platform, is $28 billion in cuts and tax breaks for people making over $1.4 million a year. They say we can't afford to invest in you. But we know the truth. The money is there. It's just going to the wrong people. And if you've been through hard times, you know exactly what happens next. Because when the pressure hits, it's never the CEOs who feel it. They'll do anything to protect their bottom line. It's working people who pay their price. It's families who get the pink slip, who delay the dentist, who skip the groceries, who walk away from the pharmacy empty-handed, while the rich never feel a pinch. And all the while, the things that define us as Canadians, our healthcare, our public services, our belief in looking out for one another, are being chipped away. And Pierre Poilievre, he's not serious. He wants to import Trump-style chaos into Canada while pretending he's got the answers. He'd hand our housing crisis to the same corporate landlords who caused it. He'd cut and gut public services, cut the help that people count on, and leave working people and working families to fend for themselves. He attacks trans kids just to score points. He spreads fear to hide the fact that he has no plan. He doesn't believe in the things that hold this country together. And he will never fight for the people who make it work. So let's be clear. He's not going to win this election. Not here, not in BC. Because here, New Democrats beat Conservatives. And we don't win by copying the U.S. We win by standing together. This is our fight, and we're not backing down. We're not backing down. Because when we fight for something real, something better, something everyone in this country deserves. We're fighting to make sure everyone in this country can see a family doctor or a care team by 2030. We'll train more doctors. We'll recognize internationally trained doctors. We'll fund residencies. We'll bring in a national license. We'll cut the paperwork. NDP, 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 NDP. Because we believe care shouldn't depend on your bank account. It should depend on your need. We're done letting corporations turn pain into profit. We'll stop the slow creep of for-profit care before it takes over. Because we know once they get their foot in the door, they don't stop. The private clinics, the shady billing, and extra fees, the slow shift away from care you can count on. Now, they're digging in on your prescriptions. Corporate lobbyists are circling because they know if we win pharmacare for all, they're going to lose a gold mine. They've had their hands in our medicine cabinets for far too long. For far too long. And Trump is right there with them, trying to lock in high prices and block public pharmacare so they can keep cashing in while you pay more. And we all know what happens when the Liberals get scared. They start to bargain away the very things that make us who we are. So when those negotiations start, you need New Democrats there. You need us there. Because we won't let them put our water on the table. We won't let them bargain away Indigenous rights. And we won't let them trade away our public health care. Not now, not ever. NDP, 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 NDP. We will fight to deliver full, universal, publicly delivered pharmacare for all. Because no one should skip medicine to pay the rent. No parent should face the choice that mom in Burnaby does. This is the vision of Tom Lee Douglas. His vision that healthcare should include everyone, from diagnosis to medication, no matter your income or where you live. And your mental health, it matters just as much. We'll make mental health care a part of public health care. No more waiting, no more worrying. No more worrying if you can afford to get help. We'll build 3 million homes you can actually afford. We'll cap rents. We'll stop corporate landlords from treating housing like a stock portfolio, because homes are for people, not hedge funds. We'll go after the cost of living and the profiteers behind it. We'll put price caps on groceries and take the GST off essentials. We will finance free energy retrofits to help cut your bills and cut your emissions. And we'll bring in real fixes to employment insurance. So if you end up, by any chance, in this difficult time, with this uncertainty in this trade war, if you lose your job, we're going to make sure you don't lose everything. We're going to have your back. In the last parliament, New Democrats delivered dental care, the first steps of farmer care, a ban on scab labor, 10 paid sick days. And we did that without a majority, without big donors. We did that because people like you put us there to fight. Now imagine what we could do with more New Democrats in Ottawa. Au cours du dernier Parlement, les néo-démocrates ont tenu leurs promesses. Soins dentaires, les premières étapes vers une assurance médicaments universelle et entièrement publique. Interdiction des briseurs de grève. 10 jours de congé de maladie payés. Nous avons fait ça sans majorité. Nous avons fait tout ça sans riches donateurs. Nous avons fait ça parce que des gens comme vous ont voté pour nous. Imaginez maintenant ce que nous pourrions accomplir avec plus de néo-démocrates à Ottawa. So when you get the $1 million question, when someone asks you, why vote NDP? Tell them this. Because when we have power, we use it to fix what's broken, to protect what matters, to build a Canada that works for you. Alors, quand quelqu'un vous demande pourquoi voter pour l'NPD, répondez-lui ceci. Parce que lorsque nous avons le pouvoir, nous l'utilisons pour réparer ce qui ne fonctionne pas, pour protéger ce qui compte, pour bâtir un Canada qui fonctionne pour vous et pas seulement pour ceux qui s'enrichissent pendant que vous en arrachez. Nous l'avons fait avant et on peut le refaire encore. My friends, voting is already underway. Advance polls are open. People are casting their ballots right now. And in this election, British Columbians will decide what happens next. Whether Mark Carney gets a supermajority or whether there are enough New Democrats in Parliament to hold the line, to fight for public health care, to take on corporate greed, to make sure working and middle-class people don't get pushed out while millionaires and billionaires cash in. NDP, 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 NDP. Cette élection est importante. Il faut suffisamment de néo-démocrates au Parlement pour se tenir debout devant Mark Carney, pour lutter pour les soins de santé publics, pour s'attaquer à la cupidité des entreprises, pour veiller à ce que les travailleurs et la classe moyenne ne se fassent pas abandonner pendant que les riches et les millionnaires et les milliardaires s'enrichissent. So let's get out there and knock on every door. Let's talk to every neighbor. Let's move every single vote. Because when we fight, we win. When we fight, when we fight, when we fight, we will make sure that it's not just the wealthy and well-connected who get heard in Ottawa. We'll make sure this election delivers for you, for the people, for everyday families. That's how we protect what makes Canada, Canada. Let's do it together, my friends. Let's do it together. Merci. Thank you so much. Merci. All right. All right, everybody, we're going to jump when the chorus hits. I want everyone in the back jumping, okay? But don't hurt yourself. Everywhere where you are, get ready. We're jumping because we're ready. We're ready to fight for the people. We're ready to make sure Ottawa works for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, it sounds good. Okay, get warmed up. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. NDP, 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 NDP.